What's going on, Laker fans? It's back with another post-game recap. I know all the Lakers fans are not very excited tonight. A lot of fans are disappointed. I know I'm just gonna say it's early in the season, and it's not a time to panic. But there are things that we need to get better. The things that we saw a lot of improvements needs to be done. But as far as performance, that's the one that I have problem with tonight. As the Lakers lose against the Portland Trailblazers, 115-107. The game was pretty close until the end of the fourth quarter, when the Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum, the best backcourt duo in the NBA, in my opinion, catches on fire. It pretty much ended the game. And Laker couldn't, come back from that because the time was running out. They were too late. The deficit was too large. We had a couple players that performed pretty well, and I'd like to talk about it later. But let's talk about the game first. This game was a back-to-back for the Lakers after pretty much destroying the Timberwolves last night. It was a very lopsided win. It was boring. To be honest, the game wasn't too exciting. I was expecting a better game tonight. And somehow Lakers come out really strong in the first quarter. They eventually took a lead going into the second quarter, 30-24, thanks to LeBron James catching 12 points in the first quarter. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was shooting hot from 3 for 3. Didn't look like we were going to miss any shot in the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Blazers pretty much stormed back, thanks to Trent Jr. scoring 14 points alone. And they pretty much took the lead going into the halftime, 58-54. And the third quarter is like Lakers go on a 15-0 run. Of course, thanks to Schroeder scoring 11 points alone pretty much in the third quarter. But he ended up with 24 points. But I'll talk about Schroeder later. But so the game was pretty tight. And then fourth quarter comes, the Portland, pretty much we could not find a way to stop Trent Jr. He single-handedly brought the team back and gave them the lead. The biggest problem Lakers had tonight was a lack of execution on defense, a lack of switch, not being able to stop those three-point shooter in the corner. Wherever they are shooting from, pretty much they were making their shots. And we were not giving a hard time, mostly like wide open threes. And it was easy for them to knock down those threes because they're a deadly three-point shooting team. And they have one of the best backcourt in the league. So it was easy for Blazers to come back from deficit. Even they were down 8, they didn't have a problem. They were just, keeps coming back with their offensive power. And the Lakers was not really doing much good job of containing their shots. Our defense wasn't up to our level. I think yesterday we played a much better defense, even against the weaker team like the Timberwolves. We showed our toughness on defense. But I think just the fatigue issue, it could be the fatigue issue, playing back-to-back, but that's not an excuse to play like this. Anthony Davis pretty much non-existent until the fourth quarter. He scored like 2 points in the first half, was just shot 5. Then ended up with 13 points and 10 rebounds, but that's not the AD that we all expect to see, because we want AD to score 20-10 every single night. And LeBron did his part, scored 29 points, almost triple-double again, 9 rebounds and 6 assists. He was catching on fire in the fourth quarter. He was the only guy that pretty much brought us back in the fourth quarter after we were down like close to double digit. And of course, I talked about the Derek Schroeder. He's pretty much the man of the match, scoring 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 8 for 16 from the field. And he provided a much needed offense from the starting, scoring 11 points in the third quarter alone, and pretty much only scored 2 points in the fourth quarter because he didn't get much playing time. But Lakers as a team, they did not shoot the ball bad. They shot 47%, made 37% from 3, 10 for 27, and 15 for 18 from the free throw line, 83%. So their shot wasn't the problem. The problem was the second unit. The second unit pretty much was outscored by the Blazers. Biggest thanks to Trent Jr. scoring 28 points alone. There were 45 scoring to 23 Lakers bench scoring. And that pretty much ended the game. We had a lot of problem last season with our bench production, and it's continued to showing that. I just want to make sure that we got better on the bench this season. I think thanks to the Herald's addition, then Wesley Matthew playing as a wing defender, and Markieff Morris reliable on his 3. But today, pretty much non-existent. And also, I know a lot of people probably bash Kyle Kuzma tonight since he put up the lowest margin for the team, minus 23, after Montreal's O'Hara. It's unbelievable how Kyle Kuzma can put up this kind of performance after his brilliant performance from last night. He was plus 30 for efficiency rating last night. Now he ended up with the lowest efficiency rating for the team. It's not like he didn't get much playing time. He played 23 minutes. But his shot selection was pretty bad. He was forcing a lot of shots. He was 2 for 9 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3, and 2 turnovers. And just didn't play too well. Didn't have energy, didn't have swagger that he had yesterday. Very disappointing. So if I have to pick LVP, which is a lowest, most least valuable player, it's definitely Kyle Kuzma and Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis, these numbers, it doesn't match with what fans expect to see. He shot 14 times, that's okay. But it's just that his lack of energy really dragged us up. He didn't look like he was ready to play tonight. Maybe, I don't know, if it's a psychological reason. He didn't look like he's happy. But when I saw the video posted up by King Cook before the game, he looked like he's okay. He's laughing with the teammates. I don't think there's any mental issue with Anthony Davis, but it looked like he wasn't ready. He wasn't engaged in the game. But that's not us fans to judge. It's a personal issue. So we'll have to see how Davis bounced back for the next game, which is against the Spurs. We'll play Spurs twice the next 2 games, and we'll have to see how Lakers really bounce back from this loss. This is a very disappointing loss for fans, and we want to make sure that this team, I don't think, is playing up to their level yet. It needed time for them to gel a little more, and I think we'll get to find out after maybe 10 games, see how this team will play for the remainder of the season. And that was my take for tonight. And what did you think about the overall performance of the Lakers? If you have any questions or comments, please leave it. And please continue to subscribe to the channel. And I'll be back with another post-game recap against the Spurs. All right, peace and have a good night.